Thanks to Greg at Egosoft for providing me with the keys to the Split Vendetta and Cradle of Humanity expansions. Space. It's pretty big, and there's a lot of it. These are the voyages of Captain Saka. My mission? To start with one ship and 10,000 credits, and make a name for myself. Will I trade? Will I fight? I don't know. But join me, won't you? This is X4, a roleplay series. Saka's log 8250213. We made our way inside the Taurus located in Earth's orbit. Guided by our parented friend Kurum and Kami, we navigated through the hazardous regions inside the station. We were met with resistance by turrets that were still active after such a long time. We had to solve a number of switch puzzles. 8 switches on the wall, all had to be activated. We returned the data to Dr. Feynman, who was waiting for us in the Earth sector. Bozo Ta even helped them out and improved their terraforming research, and they were set to begin Project Genesis. Using our new position in the inner systems, we helped out the Terran Protectorate with a few missions and a few criminals. Satisfied with our positive reputation with the Terran Protectorate, we returned to Sagara Space and was rightfully promoted. Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Saka's Space Vlogs. And when we last left off, we were helping the Sagaris Pioneers, and we infiltrated the Taurus, which was none too easy, but we are now here back at the Grand Exchange because a long time ago our buddy old pal old Dal mentioned there's an opportunity of a lifetime because we are actually on good terms with the False God Realm and the Heretic Order of the Pyramid, and I figure we can do that today. If you were wondering what we were doing as far as research goes, when we take a look at our logical overview here, you can see that we are full up on NVidia. We are buying our superfluid coolant, our field coils, and advanced electronics, and we have a little bit of a surplus on energy cells. We sold a crap ton in order to free up solid container storage. So, still producing the graphene, still selling that periodically, but research will come in, quote unquote, eventually. But we are here at the Grand Exchange, so let's go pay Dal a visit and see what he has to say here in the science lab, because of course he's not going anywhere. All right, old buddy, old Dal.
How's it going?
So what about this Pyramid Civil War that you're talking about? Oh, but this is a good question. What have you been up to, Slacker?
Listening to broadcasts and spending quality time with my charts for the most part.
And, of course, watching Bozo Ta bathe in that overgrown fish tank.
Did you know that senior boron scientists can still order their personal assistants around while half their brain is asleep?
That's cool.
It feels as if my hospitality is not being reciprocated to an adequate degree. And I must say, your pseudo-scientific blustering is starting to get on my...
Nature is truly fascinating.
You tell him, Bozo. And you mentioned the Pyramid.
Actually, they mentioned you.
Oh yeah?
We're only a few jumps away from Pyramid space, and this station's comms module is unlike anything I've come across.
I believe I already mentioned several times that this outpost was abandoned by the Terrans. A civilization so unfathomably advanced and ingenious that they managed to nearly wipe themselves out on multiple occasions.
A true sign of knowledge.
That we explore its integrated functions carefully, delicately, and most of all, cautiously.
Naturally, I had to put its capabilities to the test. As it turns out, the God Realm and the Holy Order frequently and openly accuse one another of corrupting each other's citizens.
Fair enough.
However, they're surprisingly reluctant to condemn independent individuals, much less those who simply want the best of both worlds. If you know what I'm saying.
Alright, so get to the point there, Dal.
What I'm getting at is this. There's more to this whole Civil War thing than meets the eye. For whatever reason, those Pyramids don't seem to view you as an intruder. And that, my friend, is an opportunity if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, let's not squander our good graces, though.
Might change their mind once you start snooping around. Hopefully we can mitigate that risk by knowing where to stick our noses and where not to stick them from the start.
That would help.
An informant who might be able to point us in the right direction.
Sure. Alright, so who is this informant?
An old, and I do mean old, acquaintance of mine. Knowing her, she's probably been enjoying a grandstand view of this war since it started. You'll be hard-pressed to find anyone who knows quite as much as she does about that unpleasant situation.
Sure, but if they're going up against the Argon, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to side with the Argon here. What do I need to do?
Head over to Napilio's Fortune. It's only one system away. There's an old meeting point under the highway where we used to trade gossip about the local syndicates.
Sure.
Don't be put off by her unconventional demeanor. She's not exactly quick to trust people, but once you've passed muster, she'll be your most dependable ally.
Other than?
Other than me, of course.
Poor Bozo. Dude, you're my most trusted ally. Don't go telling him. Alright, so to the rendezvous point, and I don't have a fighter in the system. They're doing trade runs for me, so I'm gonna have to get a ship over here, and I'm thinking about summoning one from the Victory. And speaking of Victory, who is parked over here in Argon Prime, in between episodes I managed to capture another destroyer, and wherefore art thou? There it is. It's hiding under the carrier, the Phoenix Sentinel. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and rename the Phoenix Sentinel the SS-28 Hemlock. And what I'll do, I don't know if we need to dock with any ships going forward, so a light fighter might be the way to go. Let's call the Banshee on over to fly on over to, where are we heading? There we go, Napilio's Fortune. We'll go ahead and fly and wait there. And old Sai will take us there, so I will see you at the rendezvous point. Alright, Sai's just using the inter-system highway here, and about halfway down is where we're going to be exiting and meeting at the rendezvous point. Hopefully our contact is here. Oh, what you got, Dal?
You're nearing the meeting point. Remember, it's right below the highway. Now where's that informant got to?
Yes, that is the question. I gotcha.
Nova. Sentinel.
All right, Dal, I found your informant.
You seem to have found something. The ship ID checks out, but something seems to be off.
What do you mean off? Like under attack off?
Well, how droll. He sent me one of his lackeys.
Ma'am, I'm not a lackey.
Closer, lackey, and we'll have a chat.
Alright, I don't like the look of this. Luckily, we're in a pretty stout combat fighter. I'd feel better if we were in the Cobra for sure. But, yeah, let's see what we got here. How's 200 meters sound?
Hey there, Gride. Why do you always choose such creepy places to meet?
Let me answer your question with another question, my dear. How far would you be willing to be sure that your allies were up to scratch?
Retreat to a safe distance. Okay.
What the? She started a self-destruct sequence. You'll have to abort the sequence manually, or get out of there quickly.
Well, we could have got on that, I think.
The self-destruct sequence was just a diversion. Hostile drones approaching fast.
And since we're having such a nice, confidential chat, how much would you be willing to sacrifice in order to defeat your worst enemies and understand your true purpose?
So this just got big real quick. Alright, so these defense drones shouldn't pose too much of a threat for us, I don't believe. Good thing we picked a pretty decent fighter here. So, yeah, let's engage and hope we don't get blown to smithereens. Alright, one down.
Piles of junk. Stop playing games, Gride.
If you
Gotcha.
had riches, power, respect,
Oh, crap.
what would it take for you to give them all up?
How curious. It appears these drugs have been tinkered with.
How so, bozo?
Someone really likes their explosives. Better keep your distance.
Oh, great. Once we take out a few, and it'll be one-on-one, it won't be so bad.
Oh, come on! That's enough! My friend here doesn't deserve this kind of treatment.
Thank you, Dal.
Well, at least your friend seems reasonably competent. Competent enough to run a small errand for me. I seem to remember you came here to ask questions about the Pyramid.
Yes,
I'll
indeed.
answer 2 questions of yours. We'll call it an advanced payment. Choose your questions wisely.
Perfect. So, what will this war achieve?
To an outsider, it might seem as though this war has just been going back and forth with no prospect of a resolution. That's not an entirely inaccurate assessment, but it's not the whole picture. It's no accident that the military supplies for this conflict have become one of the safest investments at the end of this gate network. You see, the 2 factions aren't really fighting over territory or resources. In the minds of their leaders, elimination of their opponents would actually be a tragic outcome.
Felt.
That's because they're fighting for the hearts and minds of their people. If one Pontifex backs down, even just a little, he'd be sacrificing his legitimacy. I imagine they must be quite desperate for an outside solution by now.
And that's where I come in, huh? So what drives the Pyramid?
Someone looking at it from the outside could easily come to the conclusion that civil war is a natural state for the Pyramid society. It almost seems like some sort of expression of their psyche, always questioning and challenging one another's beliefs. Nothing could be further from the truth, however. What they so desperately want to resolve is what to them is an almost tangible geometric impossibility. Namely, there being 2 pontifices. The situation is utterly strange, tearing at their stoic demeanor and ruining their perception of their own culture. It's an aberration in history that needs to be erased at all costs.
So 2 ruling parties is no good.
All this interrogation is making me dreadfully tired. I'll get your answers eventually, don't you worry. Now, about that little errand I mentioned.
Sure, am I going to
You
need a
should
fleet
receive
carrier?
your instructions right about.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Find an old stash of explosives. Is it here in this system? No, it is not. Where exactly are we going? So back the way we came, all the way to Pontifex's claim. So what I will do is I will get the victory on its way to Pontifex's claim. If something bad happens, then we can meet it there. And it will also bring the Cobra, which I think will be far more suited for, grabbing explosives. So our destroyers and carrier will head to Pontifex's claim, and I will meet them there. And of course, while we wait, we might as well repair the hull of the Banshee. Took about 17% damage, so not bad. Good thing that our shields kept us mostly protected. All right, incoming call from Dal.
You may be wondering why you're running errands for a maniac on the off chance that they might tell you something useful.
Sure.
Anyway, the first item on this list is finding an old stash of explosives.
Right. Which, yeah, I'm not going to take my light fighter anywhere near, and I'm going to make sure I've got carrier support. So the victory is over here in second contact to Flashpoint, just a few jumps away. So I will fast forward. We'll meet the victory here in Pontifex's claim, and then we'll hop in the Cobra and head on to the explosives area. All right, pulling up now, and we have the Apotheosis, which is interesting. I don't know if the old stash of explosives is going to be in this thing, but I've certainly never seen it before. We haven't been this far to the edge of the map. And we also have an unknown object right there. So I imagine that was the old stash of explosives, and it was pointed right over here, I believe. Let's get that long-range scanner going. All right, a lockbox. Several lockboxes, it seems.
Unknown object.
All right, down to our most basic laser. And let's crack open this egg. Okay, Dal, what you got?
Let me get this
Okay.
straight. The stash of explosives is hidden inside containers that are explosive. Why am I not surprised?
All right, so we need to be extremely cautious here. Yeah, let's pan on around. Make sure that our laser is behaving accordingly. Let me get some range. No, don't move forward. All right, laser is behaving. Spacesuit
Not
EMP.
another detonation timer. Put some distance between you and the device.
Full reverse. Survive imminent detonation. Oh, crap.
That was close.
Good thing we had some shields as well.
Huh. These are EMP devices, not explosives. Greta must have misremembered. It's almost as if she had planned some kind of heist and then forgot all about it.
Valid. So what do we do now?
That reminds me of something. I know Greta wants us to follow her instructions to the letter, but
Oh, no.
over here, let's take a closer look at that monument that the Paranid are so secretive about.
Don't
I've
go
always been
poking where our
curious.
nose don't belong. That was rule number 1, Dal. All right, check out Apotheosis, because sure, why not? I'm sure they're not going to be mad about us just strolling on up to it. All right, weapons full. Let's turn turrets armed just in case and attack all enemies just in case.
I think it would be best to approach it from straight above or below where the security looks to be weakest.
Okay, then up we go. The whole, oh yeah, we're not gonna poke our nose where it don't belong. We need to understand what we need to do. Okay, let's approach their monument from the point where it looks weakest. Tell you what,
Empty
Dal.
Space.
All right, so what do we got here? Do we have a scam point?
If you can manage to disable their surveillance systems, we should have a chance to snoop around a bit more.
Good thing I brought some security stuff.
Get into your spacesuit.
Oh, crap. Okay, here we go. Good thing we got that spacesuit EMP.
Hello.
All right, Ola, just keep the engine running. I'm going to be in my suit for a bit. What kind of world do we live in?
Use an EMP to create a breach and then scan it.
All right, spacesuit EMP, ready to go. The things we get into, Dal Bust, I tell you what. Huzzah!
I'm sure Greta won't mind if we appropriate one of them for our own purposes.
Sure.
Awaiting orders.
Victory, I might need you quick, fast, and in a hurry. Thank you for being here. Alright, let's get up to the first one, see if this is good enough for Dal, or if he wants us to continue snooping around. Tell you what, we are. Reach out and touch it. Alright, what's that?
There! Something on the surface just moved. See if you can find the spot.
Investigate suspicious movement. Okay. 1.5 kilometers away. Well, this is going to be a little bit of a hike. Hey everybody, don't mind me. I'm just your friendly neighborhood window washer. I'm sure you have windows to wash. It's what I'm looking for. Observe unfamiliar ships.
Bozo, can you make any sense of this?
Those shapes do seem to align with my research into Paranid cocoons. Interesting. The crystalline formation surfaces suggest some form of preservation technology. It would appear that these lucky fellows are being securely stored for some special occasion.
An invasion? Oh, crap.
You've done research on...
Oh.
Never mind. Judging by the thickness of the armored security hatch, these Paranid must be rather important. There are a lot of empty berths here, though. I wonder why.
You are in the presence of the Rickmacasaur, honored guard of the true Pontifex and appointed priest guardian of his righteous claim.
We're friends.
You are hereby commanded to remove yourself from these premises, or be struck down by the wrath of the prophets.
Seems fair.
In the name of his holiness, may he be forever bathed in the light of the sacred three-dimensionality.
So do we go?
At least he won't attack you while he's talking, right?
Sure.
I think you'd better comply. We can always return later.
Alright, retreat to a safe distance. Yeah, we're going to get on the Lily.
Well then, the next item on our list is a simple delivery.
Alright, a drop
I have the
dead
ID of
signal.
the ship we're supposed to find. If you want to, you could land on the ship in your spacesuit, but it would be easier to dock in a smaller medium-sized ship. Either way, this should be simple enough.
Alright, so medium ship is a go. That's what I like to hear. So let's hop on the Cobra then, and get this dead drop. Where is this dead drop? In faulty logic. Yeah, we're going to need a medium ship to get through Xenon space. That is for sure. Alright. Teleport to the Cobra and let's get to faulty logic.
I fear this might not be quite as simple as you seem to think.
I don't think it's
Do
simple,
be
Bozo.
careful.
Yeah, that is no joke. Going into Xenon space is not a joke.
Locate faulty logic.
So I'm just hoping that we're just poking through to the other side. So I guess we'll see what awaits us on the other side. If this ends up badly, we can always retreat to the victory.
Entering system. Faulty logic.
All right, Dal.
You know how to do this, just try not to get hit.
Yeah, no worries. All right, we need to find an unknown object. Just blast through as quickly as possible. Looks like the Paranid has a defense platform. Aha! Alright, so we need to hop on the highway. Hop, pun intended. Alright, so we'll keep chugging along. I'll get on this highway and we'll see where this highway leads us here. Yeah, as long as nothing big just like pops out and says hello, we'll be okay. Not K, but okay.
Entering faulty logic. 7.
There! Touch down and make a run for it! How did those maniacs even get here?
I don't know. Do you request docking?
Odysseus.
There! Whoo! That was nuts. Alright, we are docked. Now what? Right, Dal.
And
Tell
there's
me what
the
to
package,
do.
waiting for you on the dock, just as Grad said it would be.
Cobra.
Great. So, we get to walk out into danger space. It says collect the thing. Oh man, there it is.
Can I help?
Nope,
Goodbye.
get up.
Can I help?
No,
Now.
get up.
Let's hope the reward Gride promised was worth all the trouble.
Yeah, we are getting out of here. Travel mode if we can. And leave that Odysseus behind.
Entering system. Holy vision.
Alright, so heading to the Paranid trading station. So all's well that ends well, I suppose. We are free and clear with only a little bit of damage, so I will see you at the dock. Alright, heading to the bar. That seems like a good place to drop off a cipher. And I think once we are done with this, we will call it an episode. Hi, Greed.
I see you're still alive.
Barely.
Pleasant surprise.
Here's that cipher.
So that concludes your end of the bargain. If I remember correctly, that means I owe you a few more answers.
Sure, what's your story?
Oh, how nice of you to ask. I was a pilot myself, you know, back in the days before the gate shut down. I served one
Well,
of the
I
greatest
don't know,
minds
that's
who
why I
ever
asked.
lived. But I wouldn't do to bring them back.
Alright, so why the ambush?
Oh, yes, sorry about that, dear. In my line of work, you can never be too careful about who you associate with. If you ever find yourself facing the kind of impossible ends I'm up against, you might look back fondly at our little encounter.
Sure, so why this job?
An excellent question, my dear. The item you brought me has some sentimental value.
How
There
about
is someone
monetarily?
I've been yearning to see for one last time. You've proven yourself to be pretty dependable, so let me add another piece of the map to your little scavenger hunt. If you do indeed find what you seek out there at the end of the galaxy, I
End of
might
the
just
galaxy?
let you meet that person too.
Okay, sure.
Huh. About that errand. Did we
Yeah.
actually need the EMP for anything but our little snooping operation? Anyway, I'll add Gride's data to your navigation system.
Alright, so we need to investigate Gride's lead, and I think that will be a good stopping point for us in this particular episode. So yeah, we made a new friend. I think she's a new friend. I hope she's a new friend. And we got the Cobra in a little bit of a scuffle, and we are here in Paranid space. And the good news is while I was faffing about, we are almost ready for the superfluid coolant. We only need 237 more of that, and we've got all 3 ships bringing in the last few shipments of advanced electronics. We need to get these graphene out of here. We're almost full up on container storage, and we need that stuff clear for our research. Once the research begins, we can clear up a lot of this space. We're at 884,000 cubic meters. And once that graphene is out of the way, and once our research is out of the way, we won't have a space issue. But next time, we will be investigating Gride's lead. I'll repair up the Cobra in the meantime. But yeah, hope you'll tune in then. Thank you so much, and I will see you then.